Chad Holloway for Poker News here. The WPT Bay 101 Shooting Star is happening now. This is a tournament I've always loved. You know, you knock out a bounty, you get a signed t-shirt. It's been away since the pandemic, but has returned to the WPT. And I thought, you know what would be fun? I've got this deck of cards from the Bay 101 Shooting Star 2006. That was season 4 of the WPT. The third time it was there, even though this event dates back to 1997, just the third year with the WPT. And I thought, why don't we crack this? Let's break this sucker open and see who's there. I don't even know. This is a sealed pack. I've had it in my collection for many, many years. And we're gonna just see what is going on in this deck of cards, what poker players we might see. I don't know. I'm excited to find out. Let's check it out. This is a deck from the 2006 WPT Bay 101 Shooting Star. Look how fresh that is. All right, here we go. One stuck in there. All right, so we've got a beautiful cover. Bay 101, San Jose's Place to Play. I like it, 2006. We're just gonna flip it over and see what we got. And look at that, right on top, Doyle Brunson, the late great legend himself. Of course, he's gonna be the ace of spades. David Williams, runner-up to Greg Raymer in the 2004 WSOP main event. The Dragon, David Pham, makes sense. Oh, look at this one. Michael the Grinder Mizrachi, 19 years before he won the WSOP main event just this summer. Look how young he looks, like Poker Hall of Famer now. And this is still early days of his career. Incredible stuff. Phil Locke, the Unabomber. I actually got my start in poker thanks to him. He hired me to write for his blog at unabomberpoker.net. Never will forget that. Hassan Habib. You don't see much of him these days, but man, in the early to mid 2000s, he was playing everything. I wonder what he's up to nowadays. Same with Scott Fishman. I actually tried to find him about 2 months ago, reached out to a couple contacts, but no luck. I mean, he was one of the big names during the poker boom days. Scott, if you're out there, hit me up. Alan Cunningham, a legend in his own right. Still grinding, see him every summer at the World Series of Poker. And Phil Hellmuth. Phil's probably like, why the hell am I the 9 of spades? But did you know he won the 1989 World Series of Poker main event with pocket nines, the 9 of spades, and the 9 of clubs? So that makes sense. Says here he won the 2005 National Heads Up Poker Championship, which is true. Let's go Mimi Rogers. Wow, this is an interesting one because she's a film actress. This is a celebrity. Bay 101 Shooting Star makes sense. She used to play a lot of poker in the poker boom days as a celebrity kind of ambassador. Howard Lederer. Let's just move this one out of there. Jen Harmon, Poker Hall of Famer. Love Jen. She is beloved by pretty much everybody in the poker world and is still around. She's been dealing with some health issues, but I saw her this summer, still out there in Vegas grinding. Phil Ivey. Yeah, not many people have beat Phil Ivey heads up, but on the WPT, David Devilfish Elliott did. And I think they were inducted in the Poker Hall of Fame the same year. So let's move on to spades are done. We're going to hearts. Joe Hashem. So he won the main event of the WSOP the year before this deck came out. Would make sense that he is a shooting star. Robert Williamson III was actually one of my favorite. Him and Devilfish, believe it or not, were 2 of my favorite players in the poker boom days. Love seeing him at the World Series. John Fan. I ran into him, gosh, not that long ago. So he's still out there grinding. Carlos Mortensen, the winner of the 2001 World Series of Poker main event. I think he's over in Europe somewhere, or maybe South America. I can't remember. You don't really see him too much. Same with Toto Leonidas. Wow, that's a blast from the past. I've connected with him on social media. I think on Facebook. I think he's out in California, but certainly not on the level he was in the mid-2000s. Gus Hansen. I think it was 3 years after this, he was named to People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive. And just look at that, 6 of hearts here, which is kind of low because in the early days of the WPT, he was like the poster boy. I'm surprised he was only there. The late, great Lane Flack, back-to-back Flack. Missed that guy. He was a force and was subsequently inducted into the Poker Hall of Fame posthumously. Paul Darden. Oh man, that's an early WPT legend right there. Have no idea what he's up to nowadays, but I certainly remember those early episodes. Josh Aryeh, look at that face. Josh is still around. He doesn't look like that. just moved to Vegas with his wife Rachel, has been a crusher, very well could be in the Poker Hall of Fame before too long. Jennifer Tilley, what can I say? Absolutely love her. She won her World Series of Poker gold bracelet in the ladies event the year before this deck came out. Eric Seidel, legend, Poker Hall of Famer, still out there crushing it. Actually has had the best years of his career after being inducted in the Poker Hall of Fame and after this deck of cards came out. Annie Duke, Queen of Hearts, makes sense. 2006, it was a very different time, but she's not very well liked amongst poker players anymore. But Daniel Negreanu is GG Poker Ambassador, King of Hearts, makes sense. I love it. Kid Poker was killing it even back then. On to the clubs. Danny Wynn. Now, he won this event. Let's see. This is in 2005, so he's the defending champ. Hence why he is the ace of clubs, which I like. You know, you win this Bay 101, you should be ranked pretty high. So that was Danny Wynn. And here we have a couple legends. Stan Seif and Chuck Thompson. They were executive host and card room manager, so giving some love to the staff. I don't mind that at all. Amir Vahidi, may he rest in peace, well known for the final table, the 2003 WSOP when Chris Moneymaker won. Scotty Wynn, baby. Of course, he's got to be in this deck of cards. He's a legend. 1998, 98 main event champ. Tom McAvoy, another Poker Hall of Famer. This deck is just full of them. He won the main event in 1983. Had a great interview with him on Poker News not that long ago. Chip Jett, the husband to Karina Jett. They're both grinding in Vegas. Karina has a great real estate business. I see Chip all the time. He attends a lot of charity events. Love those two. Mike Grotz. This guy is another one of those poker boom. Where did they go? Where are they now? I have no idea. He's a bracelet winner. He's from Poland. Get at me. Anybody knows, because I sure don't. The magician, Antonio Esfandiari, made his name on the WPT. Of course, went on to win the big one for one drop and has become one of the all-time greats in poker. Lives in California, is a father now, and very different from these days when he was a playboy of sorts. Johnny Chan, the Orient Express, Poker Hall of Famer. What can I say? I mean, he's on the Mount Rushmore of poker. He was in Rounders. Cindy Violette, she's still in Vegas. She's still grinding. She is a bracelet winner, and I think 7-card stud is her game, but ranked very highly here at the 10 of clubs. John Juanda, of course, a jack for JJ, makes a lot of sense. Still out there, still crushing it. Love to see it. The Queen of Clubs is Mimi Tran. She was one of the world's most successful cash game players during this period and a legend in the LA poker scene. So it makes sense that she is the Queen of Clubs. And Barry Greenstein, the Robin Hood of poker. He, of course, donated all his winnings from the WPT to charity, made a name for himself. He's a Hall of Famer, still out there grinding. All right, on to the diamonds. Tuan Lee. Now I've heard about Tuan Lee. Where was he? Did he win this event? Let me check this out. I've got this. No, that was Nam Lee. Tuan Lee. I don't know where he's at. He's the ace of diamonds, though. Pretty high up there. WPT Foxwoods champ. Matt Savage, Sam Quinto, who of course are very associated with the Bay 101. Savage is back there right now. He's got a couple of these decks of cards that he's going to give me. Huck Seed, 1996 WSOP main event champ. Men, the Master win. Another one of those who a lot of people don't love. I actually went to Vietnam with him in 2018. Very checkered past for him. Eric Lindgren, E-Dog, got to play on the WSOP main event live stream with him this summer. I love me some E-Dog. Action Dan Harrington, back-to-back WSOP main event final tables. I believe he won a WPT title. Unfortunately, we don't see much of Action Dan anymore. He's getting up there a little bit, but hopefully enjoying the life that poker has provided him. Chao Jiang, that's another one. I don't know where he is at. His name comes up every once in a while. I think he's in Vegas, but I don't know. If you know where Chow Chow is, get at me. Freddie Deeb, see him around the World Series of Poker. He's a character. He's been around. He won the 2005 Ultimate Bet WPT main event for $1 million. Of course, we don't want to talk about Ultimate Bet. Miami John Cernuto, who just passed away, I think earlier this year. It was late last year. Was at his celebration of life over the summer. Beloved. I love Miami John. Rest in peace. James Woods, this makes fitting. 9 of diamonds for Miami John, 10 of diamonds for James Woods, famous Hollywood actor. They were best friends. He was at the Celebration of Life. Loved him in a lot of movies, including Casino and John Q. TJ Cloutier. Wow, he is one of those Poker Hall of Famers, a legend. Don't see a lot of him. He's down in Texas, still grinding, but you know, he's getting up there in age, so he doesn't make the trip out to the World Series here these last few years. Kathy Liebert, the Queen of Diamonds. Makes sense. Just interviewed her at the Venetian. She's still grinding. She's still doing her thing. Love me some Poker Cat. And I think I'm down to the last card. Yep. Who's going to be the King of Diamonds? The King of Diamonds. Wow, what a letdown. Chris Jesus Ferguson. Another one of those full tilt guys who, you know, we don't like to talk about, I guess. Did come back, I think, in 2017, win the WSOP Player of the Year through some shenanigans. Love him, hate him. Some people say he did try to do his best with the full tilt stuff, but I don't know about all that. He's definitely not going to be a Bay 101 shooting star. There's no jokers in this deck. So there you have it. This is the 2006 Bay 101 shooting star card break. I have more decks from different years. So if you like this video, you know, do me a favor, like, leave a comment, share it, because if you liked it, we can always do more. In the meantime, PokerNews.com will have a recap of the 2025 WPT Bay 101 Shooting Star winner when he or she is crowned.